Hi everyone, so today we're going to have a look at one of these and all the different leaks that you can get from these outside taps. Sometimes it gets very confusing which one's which and which is the actual fix to fix it. Well, today I'm going to take you through all the leaks that can happen with these and sort them all out. We're going to fix them. Here then is a typical outside tap, mine here. Now lots of people leave the hose pipe on, shut it off in the winter and turn it back on in the summer, and what they don't realise is that the washer could be leaking in here and running through the hose. Now if you haven't got a real secure end on it like one of these taps and it's just an open hose, it could just be leaking and you know nothing about it. But first we're going to look at the most typical leak, which is the one that comes out of this nut here. So let's look at that one first. When you turn it on, water starts to pour out. Well, how do we fix that one? Let me show you. Right, what we're saying then is that you turn the tap on and it leaks out of here. Okay, mine's not leaking, unfortunately. How do you fix it? Actual fact, with this one, you don't even need to turn the water off. Actually, you can do it without doing that. So we're going to span on the little gland nut, as we call it there. Okay, don't worry if the top turns with it. And we're going to undo it. It's always easier if the tap is fully open, because then you've got a bit more room to pull this piece up and down. You can undo that with my fingers there. Okay, and up it comes. Now we'll put a bit of water there, not much, don't worry about it, it's outside anyway. There's usually a little sealing washer inside there, it's probably gone. So what we're going to do here, we've replaced that little sealing washer with a bit of PTFE tape. Alright, so let's do that next. We'll get a bit of PTFE tape. Now we don't need much of this stuff, alright, just about 4 to 6 inches of it. Snap it off, like so, like that, a little bit like that. String it together, okay, tighten it like that, and we're going to place it inside this gland nut. With that nut up there, like so, we're going to string this around here. So we're going to put it around like that, if you can see it there. It will look something like that. Okay, a little ring of stuff there. Now you can push it down with that. I find it better to push it down with something like a small brad or a small screwdriver or something. So we get it like that and we push it down into there, like so. Push it all down. It's a bit awkward, but don't worry about it. Push it all in. When it's right in, we do that and up, back up. Now if you put too much on, you won't be able to get the thread started. Okay, so you'll know you've put too much on. Usually, as I say, no more than about 6 inches of PTFE. And then what we do is we tighten it back up. Now don't go too mad. Just go a little gentle piece, because if you go too tight, you won't be able to turn it. How you've got to get it is so that it's just kind of not loose, but not too hard either. Just get it about right, like that. It's just stiff enough, and that will stop it leaking straight away. 9 times out of 10 that works. So that's one of the most common ones. Look at the next one. Another common place for a leak is here on this joint here, sorry, not the clip there. And it's because there's a little washer inside there. We'll undo it and you'll see it there. Okay, so if that's leaking there, generally it wants a new washer on there. I've put a makeshift washer on there because my old one went a little while ago, a pound shop type washer where you get a bag of them, and this was the nearest fit, but it always holds and works every time. But so great idea if you can't find a washer for it. Now what about if it turns out it's dripping out of here, the actual tap itself? You know, that's a different thing altogether, because then we've got to take the top off. So we've got to turn the water off for this one. Again, turn the tap fully on. That's off down there. Turn it right on, as far as it'll go. Nice spanner, nice fitting spanner, and crack it. This will be the tightest bit, okay, just to crack this. Oh, there we go. And then take it off. Now what we've got in here is the washer, as you can see. So we'll change that first, okay. Now, easy to come off. Piece of cake like so. Okay, and we'll get another one. Get a new one. And it just goes over that little ridge there, you can see it, and on it goes, and we're ready with that. Now what about if you've done that but it's still leaking? Well, this is where you do something else. Now if you look down inside our tap there, you will see what's called the seating of the tap. That's that round shiny thing there. Okay, so what we're going to do, you might find there's a little split across. If you run your finger around it and it feels coarse somewhere, and you may see it anyway, it's kind of like what we call a hard water really cut. You don't get so much in soft water areas at all. So if you live up in Kent and London, you'll probably find a lot of the time it isn't the washer, but this with a split across it, a cut across the brass. How do we fix that? It's simple. Now what we're going to do is reseat it with this tool here. You have different size threads for different taps, okay? So you find the one that fits your tap. You can take them off and try it and see which one fits in there. That feels like the one to me, yeah. So we're going to put that back on the tool and put that on there. Okay, the cutter. Now you get different size cutters as well. This one's a bit small for that tap actually. The one I need is a bit wider, but you will get a couple of cutters anyway. I'm just showing you how it would go, and it's easy to do after that. Once you've got the right size cutter as well, so that one is a bit too small for this, but get in there and do this up, and when you do it up, you kind of push this round and hold it like so. You do that, and then when you undo this, you take it out and you should have a clean shiny brass bit at the bottom. And the very last thing, I know I showed you about this washer and changing it, but do check that there's no cuts across this brass section here that it sits on as well. Just another thing. I got caught out on a long time ago where you get little cuts across there, and you can put a washer on then, but it won't make much odds because that's where the problem is. So it might not even be the seating of the tap. But those reseating tools are really cheap. But do check that one as well before you put it back. Oh yes, one last thing. In case that sealing washer on the back of there is gone, they're a bit awkward to get really, so if you think it's suspect to leaking around there, then pull off another bit of PTFE tape like I've done here, alright, and just wind it around this here, right to the back of it if you can. Okay, and wind it around, keep it to the back and around, keeping it to the back and around like so. Okay, a bit of PTFE tape will take the place of the washer if that washer is damaged at all. Then we know that seal is going to be okay for us to put back in there. Okay, and there we have it. We'll just tighten it up now. And then we're all good to go. That's it. We're all good to go, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you fix all the current leaks that you can get with outside taps. Well, that's about it. Hope you've enjoyed that one. How to easy fix the outside tap. Catch you again next time for all my stuff. You know to go Derriton 33.